All right, let's see. Okay. Let me move over here. Shot. Okay, well, I mean, it's not the best setup ever, but it'll do. And then I better make sure that I do not screw up my mic. Okay. Well, what am I going to do today? Okay. So, I guess anybody who's watching, thanks for watching. Um, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do today. I didn't really get much feedback on my Twitter posts. So, you know, like, what am I going to do? Don't know. I have a lot of options, so I guess I'll just pick one and go. I do have some like exciting news. I was kind of keeping it down low because I didn't want to, prematurely say that I was gonna do anything. But Primogen said it on his stream today. Um, he's gonna join me on one of my streams in the near future, and I'm gonna interview him a bit. I'm gonna ask him questions like, which programming language is the best and why is it HTMX? Um, that's basically the only question I need to ask. I mean, like, what else is there in life? That's about it. So I'll just stick to that. And then, yeah, I have some other interviews lined up tentatively. Let's put it that way. Again, I don't want to say anything about any particular person because, what if they decide they don't want to do it or they can't or something like that. So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna say anything in particular, but let's just say that I might have, aside from Primogen, I might have one or two other um, reasonably big tech streamers lined up for some interviews, and I will try and ask some good questions. Hopefully, I can do them all justice, and I have a lot of respect for all of them, including the Primogen, obviously. So I just want to make sure that I ask like kind of the right questions and whatnot. So that's gonna be fun. Um. The question is, what am I going to tackle? And I do have a few options. I suppose there's something that I was hoping I could talk about that I could make kind of like a bit of a video on, because it's been a while since I've done a video, and um, it might be it might be a quick one. So I might do something about technical debt. We'll see. Now, before I get to that, Ryan Winchester is in chat. He's the only viewer I have. I have one viewer, and it's Ryan. Which is why I've titled the stream, What Am I Even Doing? And, oh, I see Snow the Parrot. Oh, okay, I have more than one viewer, so maybe my viewer count's lying to me. Listen. Oh, and Mango's here. I have 3. So my viewer count's not. What is? Oh, wow, I've got 3 whole people. 3. This is how it starts. And before you know it, I'm gonna wake up in the morning and I'm gonna have like 600 viewers watch. So hey Ryan, first of all, Ryan, you need to stop following me because this is getting creepy. Okay, I do not want to step outside and find you down the hall in the same building that I'm in. Okay, first of all. Second of all, Mango, awesome to see you here. That's really nice of you to come by and even just watch me for a few minutes. I appreciate it. Thank you. And Snow the Parrot, I know we talked earlier today. Thank you for being here as well. Okay, so to all my 3 viewers, thank you. Ryan, I'm not telling you. I'll DM it to you, but I'm not telling you. I'm near Vancouver. Okay, let's put it that way. Yeah, thanks, Mango. Look, check this out, Mango. Okay, I'll just hang on for like a minute here, Mango. Okay. Not only do I have Mario. Yeah, you're welcome, Snow. Anytime. Not only do I have Mario, all right. This helps me code. If you can believe it, you have to have the right outfit for coding, right? I have, yeah, my hair is a mess. Luigi, Mango. I have Luigi, huh? And then if I'm really feeling like I just need to get like, you know, really into the code, okay? Check this out. You ready? I've got Yoshi. Now this one's a bit hard to wear because like I kind of have to go like this and then you can't see me, but like I mean check that out, man. Check that out. All right? Yeah, I don't have Princess Peach. I don't have I wish I had Princess Peach. Okay, but I don't. I'm not that cool. Okay, I'm pretty cool, but I'm not that cool. All right? But it's still I'm pretty cool. Ryan said something. He's dropping cities I recognize, and that's freaking me the frick out. I lived in Surrey, then Abbotsford, but I moved to New Brunswick in 2021. Dude, this is getting a little creepy. Why are we sharing so much stuff? Are we like kindred spirits? Is this like are we soulmates or something? What's going on here? What the? Okay, I'm gonna DM you, and then we're gonna have to like, yeah, we're gonna actually have to meet up in person, Ryan. Thanks, Mango. Thanks, Mango. I appreciate it. You have really good energy too, and you know I'm trying to. It's kind of hard, honestly, to do tech streaming and be entertaining. So you kind of have to have some form of energy. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. Sometimes people like that. It's kind of hard to watch though. So I'm trying to keep the energy up and like, you know, wear fun hats. And then I've got like, yeah, Ryan, it's meant to be. I know, we're meant to be together. And then I've got some stuff up here. I've got like my Batman and Iron Man and Spider-Man Swarovski crystals, and then I've got some video games and stuff back here. And I've got my big God of War thing. So I'm trying to like copy some of the energy you have because I love watching your streams, Mango. You're awesome. So yeah, Ryan, my streams are boring and I'm okay with that. You know what, Ryan? It's okay. Some people actually like that because they want to get in, they want to chill out. I will sometimes lurk and code while I'm watching someone else code. Kind of like not high energy, right? If you ever watch Mango, he's like high energy all the time. I don't know how he does it. And it's great. And he does like raps and stuff. The best I got is poems. And they're not even that good. They're not even good poems. Okay, but anyways, thanks, Mango. I appreciate it, man. You're awesome. Yeah, see, Ryan, there's a vibe for everyone. And you've got the New Brunswick vibe. And the New Brunswick vibe is the low-key vibe. Out here in Vancouver, okay, which you ditched apparently, out here in Vancouver, we're pumped all day, all night. Hey, you're going to bed? I'm just starting my day streaming. Okay, Ryan? So, you know, Mr. New Brunswick, man, that's what's going on with you, right? I've got you pegged. So Yeah. There. Okay, well, I mean, I've got to pick something. Sold my house in Abbotsford for double what I paid for it after living in it for 5 years. Okay, so are you just flexing now? House prices are cheap. Yeah. You just like what Ryan just came here to flex? Yeah, I'm Ryan. I follow Spiro around everywhere. I sold my house and stuff, and you know, well, look at how cool I'm in New Brunswick, because Vancouver sucks now. Yeah, thanks, Ryan. Okay, thanks. Yeah, man, go chill vibes, lo-fi with the Ray Virtual Daily. Yeah, yeah. Just saying, I ditched Vancouver for a good reason. Yeah, Mango came out here to support. Ryan came out here to flex. Okay, now I get it. Now I get what you're getting at here, Ryan. I've got you. you guys, you guys are funny. Okay, well, should I do something? I mean, I've got to do something, right? I've got to pick something that I want that to talk about or show or do. Now, I kind of have a few options to pick from. Yeah, Meg, do a backflip. I wish I could. My daughter's been doing them all the time, and I would just sit and watch, and I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I can't do a kickflip. Brian, dude, I'm not gonna. I would do a kickflip, all right, but I'm humble. Okay, I'm way more humble than you are, and I'm not gonna flex on stream with my amazing kickflip skills. Okay, because out here in Vancouver, our kickflips would blow your New Brunswick mind. Okay, but we're just so humble about it. All right, so yeah. I could do a tray play. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really wish I could. I really wish I could do a kickflip. If my daughter was here, well, I wouldn't be streaming right now. I'd be spending time with her. But if she was here, she would probably do a backflip for you guys. And yeah, Brian, you used to be conceited. You know what? I'm gonna a little programming joke. /s/conceited/empty space. Okay. Um. No, you know what? I screwed that up. Okay. No. I screwed that up. Shut up! I screwed it up. /s/used. Okay, so all it says is I screwed it up again. Shut up! I know how to program. Okay, Ryan. I don't need to hear any of this crap. Okay. Look, I have some choices. I to be, I used to be. Yeah. Mango, I know you can't tell right now. I know you're coming in here and I can't even like code on the fly. I can't even do like a search replace for you. I screwed that up really, really bad, but I promise you I can code. That's how I make my living, okay? People pay me for what you just saw. Okay, so imagine that. You making a game? I see the category. Put me in the game, please. Okay, so I mean, yeah. Look. Here, I'll do a quick show of what I'm doing. And I'll talk about like what I'm building. Let me go to add me as an NPC in the game in the background. Yeah. Okay, there I am. Here, I'm just gonna do this. All right, so it's really nothing fancy, Mango. This is how we do it in the big leagues. Okay, here, let me just adjust my my camera again. Okay, so this is how AAA games are started. That's right, Ryan. This is how you start. You start with like the crappiest game possible. Okay, let me just go back here like this. There. So it doesn't look like much, right? Whatever. But here's what I have. Here's what I'm trying to build. Let's see if I have it already open somewhere. I probably don't, because I've told myself 100 times I should just have a tab for this, and then I never listen to myself. Anyways, so okay, it's an old. I'm basing it on an old Super Nintendo game. It's called Uncharted Waters: New Horizons, and it's my favorite game of all time. Grew up playing this all the time, and essentially what you do is you build a fleet of ships, and you get captains and stuff, and then you have to like travel around the world, and you do things like you trade. So there's like a whole economy system in it. Literally an economy system where like each port has its own economy and you buy and sell, etc., etc. You have your own fleet of ships, so you can pirate. So you can like attack other ships. You can explore and find like treasure, or you can find wonders of the world, like the pyramids or whatever. And then you have six different characters, and they all like have each has their own storyline, and then at some point during the story they cross over. So anyways, I'm basing it off of this, and I'm adding my own twists. Obviously, because I don't want to do a ripoff. I want to like kind of update it and add my own twist. So yes, Mango, this will be playable on PC. Actually, it'll be playable on your phone. If I do this right, if I use the technology correctly, then you should just be able to hit a URL, and the whole game should load no matter what device you're on, even if it's on your phone, and you'll be able to play the full game. And it'll be free forever. So that's what I'm working on. So that's like the main thing that I'm doing on this stream. And then just from a technical standpoint, I'm doing it in a really complicated way, on purpose, because for people who are here watching like the tech development stuff, it's an interesting way to approach. I think it's an interesting way for me to approach the game, and hopefully others find it interesting as well. So there's that whole layer underneath. So thanks, Mango. I appreciate the show of support, which is a lot more than I can say for Ryan, who's probably placing over-under bets on me right now on Twitter about whether or not I will actually succeed in doing this game, because he thinks he's better than me because he sold his house and moved to New Brunswick. Okay? Ryan, I got your number, okay? Oh, man. I know. I honestly, I love Ryan too. Yeah, but low key, okay? Like, we're going to go really low key. I really do love Ryan too. I'm going to watch his streams because I haven't really seen him stream before. I think he's like a pretty cool guy and whatever. But like high key energy, Ryan, shut up. All right? Okay. Glad we got that clear. Jeez, man. But low key, Ryan, you're pretty cool. You're pretty cool. Anyways, so yeah, man. You should totally, if anybody does not following Mango, and if anybody is not following Ryan, absolutely should. These guys are really cool. I would definitely, let me do like a Twitch shout out thing here. I gotta go. Oh man, I'm so not prepared. You guys are like all over me here. So if I just go like this, and then I go manage my stream, and then I can do like a shout out. So here's what I'll do, okay? I know that Ryan, you're up here because you waited for me, and it's like close to your bedtime because you're an old man. So here, we're gonna do a shout out to Ryan Winchester, and then when the 5 minutes is up, I will give a shout out to Mango. Okay, thanks, Mango. Appreciate it. All right. So there we go. We got a shout out. So for all my 4 or whatever viewers I have, follow each other because you guys are awesome. And Mango's great. So if you don't know about Mango, Mango does gaming, and he's really fun to watch. He does the stuff that I usually watch him for. He does like horror games, like scary games, which is fun. And then he'll like literally he'll rap like on stream, do like sing his own songs he literally has made himself, which is way beyond any of my skills. He's really good at it, and it's really fun to watch. So yeah, 10:45 p.m. here, Ryan. That's way past your bedtime, man. I mean, in New Brunswick, don't you guys go to bed at 6? Isn't that what happens in New Brunswick? Because there's nothing to do there? Like, well, what's the point of having money from selling your house if everything shuts down at 6? What are you going to do with all that money? What do you do? Just spread it on your bed and then use it as like a little cover? Like, oh, my toonies. Oh, yeah. Anyway. Mango, no need for a shout out. Just here to support you. Thank you, Mango. I wanted to catch a stream, be active. I'll be here more often, I promise. Thanks, Mango. No pressure, man. I'm just glad. I'm glad you're here. I appreciate the support. Yeah. Keep my bed toonies out of this. Fine, Ryan. Fine. Only because I also have toonies and I use them to buy maple syrup from Tim Hortons, which is what we Canadians do. And the toonies is the only form of transaction that Canadians have. Anyways. So yeah, I mean, I've got some choices on what to do here. I could work on the game. It's going to be a little bit of a boring stream because I'm kind of working through like data structure stuff and back-end Zig and stuff. So it, I don't know. But I also, guys, if you don't know, I have a 3D printer. And I've been wanting to try and do some 3D printing stuff on my stream too, so that's another option. I also have like, yeah, Ryan Zig. I know, right? I know. Look, okay, just before I talk any more about my 3D printing here, because I know you gotta go to bed, you old man. I'll show you what I'm talking about, all right? Mango, yeah, man, you do your thing. I know you've got stuff going on. I just appreciate it, even if you're here for like 5 minutes. I appreciate it a lot. Let's see here. Okay, if I can not screw this up and actually get this right, I will show you my Zig code. Let me just and if I do forward, there we go. Ordered a bamboo 3D printer, now taking a side job to pay for it. I know, man. I know. It's pretty bad. Let's see. Oh, I guess I should like restart my service. Let's see if this works. I haven't told my wife yet about the printer. Well, you know what you do? If you ever print with it and it's making those noises, you put a cover over it and you're like, don't, dangerous animal. Don't open it. It'll eat you alive. All right? And then so when it shows up, I'm going to need to come up with a good reason. Just say like, you can blame me if you want. So like that crazy Vancouver dude bought it for me. I just showed up. What am I going to do? Say no to him? You know? Are you kidding me, wife? You kidding me? I can't say no. It was purchased for me. And I know I'm encouraging you to lie to your wife. That's not a good thing. Tape a paper sign over it. Danger, honey, bad. Yeah, exactly. Just cover it up, and it's like, a big box. And then when she asks why, just be like, it's top secret or something. I don't know. Top secret animal research. Trust me, it's gonna make us a lot of money. We're gonna be rich. Okay, that's what you do. Okay, look, Ryan. Just so you know, I'm not lying. I'm legitimately using Zig to build this game. Okay, so here's some Zig code. Here's some more Zig code over here. So you can see I've got like data structures and everything. And then I'm compiling to WebAssembly. And then I'm loading the WebAssembly on the browser here, just locally served for now, and using JavaScript to hook into the WebAssembly memory and call back and forth, the data for the game. And I am using pure DOM. So there's no canvas, and there's no web GPU, and there's no WebGL, there's no GPU acceleration cheats of any kind. It is pure DOM. So this up here is just a DOM element. It's just a menu. This is just DOM element. These are just entities. It's all pure DOM. And the whole point is that I would like to be able to take this Zig code and basically maintain a very tight set of functions that just runs the game. And that includes the data. And I'm going to have even my images are going to be nothing but array structures. I'm not going to even have strings. And there's two particular reasons I'm doing it. Well, kind of three. One, Zig can compile to whatever I want. So today I'm doing WebAssembly. Tomorrow maybe I want to compile it natively to like a desktop app on Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever it is. I can do that. And then my renderer can be swapped in and out to whatever I like. So if in the future I want to render in WebGL, then I can do that. And then so my rendering method doesn't need, it can be whatever I want it to be at any point, and my game still stays structured. I'm going to stick to just these simple array structures because then I can add in like localization or manipulate my strings depending on the context of like what I'm rendering and how. So this is going to be like very compact data on purpose. I'm setting these challenges like on purpose. I don't have to do this, but I want to because it's insane. Is Zig still LLVM? They're working, I think, on removing it. And I think that might cause some instability issues for a while, which is fine for me, but not so great for anybody who's using it and needs to stay bleeding edge. It's fine for me because I don't mind staying on a single version for a while until it stabilizes on whatever version in the future. Because I have everything I need right now. So it's a potential problem, but I'm okay with this for now. And I know that they'll stabilize it. And down the road, whatever improvements they make after they've gone through this LLVM weird, awkward, whatever teenager phase, I'll sort it out then. But for now, I really don't need anything else but this. That's kind of a third reason why I'm keeping this so like strict and compact and not trying to take too many shortcuts here, or any ideally, because then I can keep my usage of Zig really, really stable regardless of what they do around it. And then kind of as like an additional thing is I kind of want to prove that kind of the web dev industry in general is underutilizing the technologies we have available to us. And what I think, there's like kind of a suspicion I have in my head that we are not even properly pushing the boundaries of what we can do with like DOM, just DOM. I think regular DOM stuff, even for like animations, really basic vanilla JavaScript stuff, can take you really, really far these days, and we're just not reaching for that. So, I've purposefully set all these insanely hard restrictions on myself to see how far I can get by being this insane. And I think that's going to be kind of like the overarching theme of the stuff I stream is like, how insane can I get with some of these things? And then I have a thought that like, if I do this in Zig now and do it on the browser, what I might want to do in the future, because I have a bunch of Raspberry Pis sitting around here somewhere, I might actually want to build like a dedicated Raspberry Pi to this, where I compile the Zig code to the Raspberry Pi, because you can do that with Zig. You can attach to like low level machines like that, embedded systems. and you can have like a little mini gaming Raspberry Pi with my game in it, like that kind of a thing. So yeah, I'm trying to go crazy. Hopefully people find it interesting, and if nothing else, it'll just prove I'm crazy, which then you can rub in people's faces and say, look how crazy he is. And if I fail epically, you can laugh at me some more and tell us all about how New Brunswick is better. So, I'm just thinking here. The other thing I gotta do, New Brunswick is dope. I mean, low key, it's dope. Okay, low key, New Brunswick isn't bad. But I'll never admit that high key. Okay. Halifax is better, but I have family here. Well, that's good, man. It's good to be near your family. That's important. No matter where they are. I get it. I don't think I could move from here because all my family's here too, so I get it. The other thing I have is this guy. You know what? You know what? Let me change my let me change. All right. Wow, my camera was crooked. I'm sorry. So I have this guy. So what's happened, okay, is this lights up. So I want to have this up here lit up so that if anybody's in the house while I'm streaming, they can see that I'm streaming. The issue that I'm having is that it's come apart. I don't know if you can tell. So I actually have two different 3D printers. So I have a Prusa Mark IV, which I'm not going to adjust the camera for right now. But then I also have, where the heck? Hold! Hold! Oh man. Making a mess. Where on earth did my other printing thing? Aha! Got it! This thing. So, you've never heard of this 3Dsimo? It's pretty cool. At least I think it's pretty cool. Let me open this puppy up. So, it's a 3D pen, but it's more than just a pen. It is also a soldering iron if you want. So it's got like a detachable end, which you can, let me see if I can take this off without, there we go, detachable end. Yeah. Okay, so you can put whatever end you want. You've got a soldering end, and then you've got a, I guess what you'd call it like a sculpting. I think that's what they call it, is a sculptor. So if you 3D print, whether it's through the printer or whether you just like air draw with a 3D pen, you can sculpt whatever your 3D structure is. So I think I want to fix my bat signal with this 3D pen. And that would require, if I do it right and I don't screw it up, I would literally just 3D pen some plastic, you know, some PLA right around the base here and firm it up, and ideally not ruin the cords that are powering the light. because everything else works. It's literally just not attached. So I just thought it might be, yeah, I know epoxy would work too. I know. I could even use a soldering end and kind of like melt the existing plastic onto each other. I could just glue it, but I just thought it might be fun just to use the 3D pen just for like a stream or like a stupid video, just for the heck of it, just as a way to like show it off just to some degree. So, that's one thing I was thinking I could do today. The other thing I was thinking I could do is there's an article about tech debt that I could read and react to. Yeah, 3D pen flex. That's how we do it in Vancouver. Just saying, man. Do you have 3D pens in New Brunswick? Pff, doubt it. There's the... Where did it go? Where did the article go? Let me just switch over. See if I can pull it up. Yeah, this one. There's this one. It's kind of an interesting article about, just a little bit interesting, about tech debt, and I thought maybe I could talk about this as kind of like a react video. Or I could just like, drop hot takes, just the whole stream, just a bunch, like one hot take after another until you can't deal with it anymore and you're sick of me. And then I'll just keep dropping more hot takes. I could do all of those things. And I think I don't know if you saw, Ryan, but I already flexed about interviewing Primeagen on one of my streams in the near future, and a few other hot tech people. You get that in New Brunswick? That's what I thought. Okay. So, since I have it up and running, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a marker, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to turn this into video content. I don't know how many people are watching. Honestly doesn't matter. But Ryan, if for some reason you have to go and I don't catch you before you go for some reason, because I'm like, reading or something, thanks for coming and watching, even for a few minutes. I know it's late for you. I appreciate it. I know we like to poke fun at each other, which is fun, but seriously, thanks. And I don't know if, am I following you? I should follow. Yeah, there we go. I'm following you now. So next time you go on stream, I'm going to watch you too. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to, I'm going to get into it. You stream 2 to 4 times a month. That's not bad, honestly. Especially if you've got like family and stuff. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard thing to schedule properly and pull it off, consistently, especially with family. Like I pretty much have to wait for a period of time where like my daughter's not around, because then it's like quiet. Oh yeah, so I have 1, you have 3. Yeah, man, that's hard. That's hard. Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you so that the few times you get to do it, I will try and be there. Give you some support back by trash talking New Brunswick non-stop. As a matter of fact, you know what I might do, Ryan? Okay? You know what I might do? I might just build a little Laravel PHP HTMX website, and all it is a whole bunch of crap takes on New Brunswick. just dedicated to trashing New Brunswick. All right. Stream content. I think I've got my next stream down. Writing that one down. Snow. Yeah, Snow. You are surrounded by Canadians. It's true. It's true. It might be more true than you think. Okay, I'm going to get into this. Technical debt is not real. Okay, I'm going to get into this article. I'm going to start talking about this. So, this is like a somewhat interesting article. I think it's a little bit, I don't know. I think the topic is interesting, but I'm not really convinced. I pre-read like 2 or 3 paragraphs. Right, I like you have 4 viewers and slow mode is on. I don't know why I did that, okay? I don't know why. I just did. I don't have a good answer for you, okay? And I'm not changing it. Because this is how we roll in Vancouver. This is just how we do it in Vancouver. So you're just going to have to deal with it. I mean, slow mode should be good for you, right, Ryan? Isn't slow mode the New Brunswick life? Slow mode? 6 p.m., everyone goes to sleep. It's pretty quiet out there right now, huh? Yeah, because everyone's been sleeping for the last 8 hours. Okay, moving on. So, technical debt is not real. I'm going to read pretty much almost all of it, but I might skip a few things because it's a little bit of a weird... some paragraphs are a little bit weird to read, but I'll do my best here. In software development, technical debt often emerges as a foreboding specter, casting a long shadow over code bases and development teams alike. Yet, herein lies a provocative truth. Technical debt is not a tangible entity lurking within lines of code. It's a metaphor, a way of thinking about the accumulated consequences of past decisions and shortcuts. In this article, we'll examine the metaphor and see that it has less to do with the code itself and more about the choices and compromises you make. We'll talk about 2 forms: emergent technical debt, which arises from evolving system requirements, and deliberate technical debt, a choice to prioritize rapid development over quality. By looking at technical debt this way, we not only refine our understanding, but also identify effective strategies for managing it. All right, let's see. Conceptual origins of technical debt. Holy crap, did I just get my first subscriber? Or a second subscriber? Who's my first subscriber? Who is first? Ryan, thank you very much. That was Snow. Are you my first? Snow, Ryan, thank you guys. I wasn't expecting it, any of that. I really appreciate it, both of you, very much. Thank you. I should update my alerts too, make it more cool. You know, that's awesome. Thank you both very much. Okay, I'm gonna keep going here. Conceptual origins of technical debt. The term technical debt can be traced back to Ward Cunningham, a notable figure in the software development world. I've never heard of him. And one of the original authors of the Agile Manifesto. Now, what's weird is I have heard of the Agile Manifesto, so now I feel like an idiot. Cunningham introduced this term to describe a phenomenon in software development akin to financial debt. He explained it as, sometimes it's necessary to incur financial debt. It can be strategically acceptable to accumulate technical debt. It's okay to borrow against the future as long as you pay it off, all right? His analogy was simple yet profound. Incurring a small amount of debt and repaying it promptly can be beneficial, but allowing it to accumulate unchecked can lead to a crippling cycle where you're overwhelmed by the burden of servicing the interest. The comparison was targeted at challenges from technical debt arising because of the way the system is. However, the term has evolved using a broader range of challenges in software development, including the consequences of expedited development. I think a lot of us have been here. So far, the article pretty much describes like a really high level picture of what technical debt is, somewhat accurately, in my opinion, but it's still pretty high level. And I don't think this article actually ends up going deep enough into a lot of the nuance that happens around like when technical debt arises, because there is a lot of nuance in my opinion. So, but let's keep going for a bit. Because of the way it is. In the realm of software development, the inception of a project is marked by a paradoxical certainty. We know the least about the project at its beginning. This is an inherent trait, not a flaw of the developmental process. It's a recognition that emerging requirements are both inevitable and unpredictable, a fundamental principle at the core of the agile movement. We build just enough to adjust the current understanding without overreaching. It's essential to build a useful product with the least amount of waste. We try to avoid the pitfall of developing features that, while impressive, may not align with the actual needs of the end users. We must come face to face with the crucial question: what value does a feature-rich software hold if its core functionality fails to serve its intended purpose? Now, I start to diverge a little bit from this opinion a little bit. And this is why I wish there was a bit more nuance around what happens. Because I don't actually think that the only reason or the primary reason why you incur technical debt is because you have, say, a broad range of features or feature richness of some kind. But let's keep reading for a little bit and then I'll kind of bring it back. This pair of ideas has a complex knock-on effect. When a new requirement emerges that is antithetical to our previous understanding of the system, we're faced with a dilemma between two choices. The first is to throw up our hands and declare the requirement impossible because of the way it is, which is not realistic. The second is to somehow shoehorn this new requirement into the system by means of a nasty hack. Again, I really wish that there was like a better example, like a nuance, because these are like generalized statements. And when you tackle individual problems, this isn't always the case. This isn't always the reason why you incur technical debt. Let's keep going for a bit. In this view of technical debt, borrowing against the future is an acknowledgement that we know we don't know, so let's not pretend. I don't understand this sentence. This loan will come due when we learn what the future holds. I don't know that technical debt is actually related to this. I don't think technical debt is often about the future. I think technical debt is often about the past or the current. But let's keep going. There is, of course, a third, less taken route, adapting the system to make it as if the requirement had always been known. Performing this type of change is analogous to repaying our debt in our financial metaphor. The more we defer paying off these mismatches between what we initially believed and what we know now, the more interest we accrue. This interest takes the form of bugs, of extra time necessary to understand the system, and of prolonged development time for new features. Okay, so at this point, I'm reading this particular paragraph for the first time. I think we've lost the plot here. For the sake of the article, I'm going to just kind of read it a bit more, and then I'll come back to why I think this isn't actually it's too general of an article. There's buying on credit. There's another more common usage of the term technical debt that seems to have originated from the startup world, a realm where customer needs and business models are often unclear initially. This form of technical debt draws parallels to the consumer credit boom of the mid-20th century America. So then for a few paragraphs here, he goes on to talk about like credit purchasing and the difference between like what things were available to be purchased on credit and how people paid that back. We have this kind of debt at our organization and it isn't on the verge of failure. Congratulations are in order. We've made it. Our best bet is to now try to develop an understanding of the system we've built and to refinance our debt. And then you have to pay down your debt. And so then it talks about changing requirements, refactors. And then there's, in particular, this kind of stood out to me. The concept of refactoring sprints, while seemingly a solution, is often misguided. The root problem often lies not in the code itself, but in the processes that built the code. In cases of what might be termed corporate technical debt, a continuous proactive approach to managing technical debt is more effective than sporadic refactoring sprints. This approach requires a rethinking of how we structure our work every time we get a feature request that doesn't fit in. We're getting two stories: change the design of the system and make the actual feature. So at this point, I don't even want to finish the rest of it. Here's the problem I have. The problem I have with this article is it talks a lot about things that change between when you start and future requirements that come in. But I don't think that's the whole story here. Yes, you can have a new feature or new sets of features which require you to, in the present, rush through and create things that don't fit in with what you've done historically. I think the real problem is not the fact that there's something new that's come in that's causing you to do that. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that it is an unavoidable fact of life. No matter how good you are with your company and your product, there is always going to be something new that pops up that you have to deal with. You can't avoid that. And so the idea of placing the blame on those future things as the cause of technical debt, I don't think makes sense. Technical debt typically comes from a lack of handling problems historically and handling the present. And that is way more nuanced, because that can happen for a lot of reasons, including you're rushing through potential features and you're not given enough time to properly sort out code base. You don't have enough time to go back and fix things that have gone wrong in the past. So you're just perpetually adding to an already existing mountain of technical debt. You're never going to be able to say, whoa, 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 everyone stop. No more new features, please. You can't do that. But there is some level of power you have over what you do in the present, which then becomes historical. So I wish that this article had more examples about how current attacks on technical problems can cause you to incur technical debt if not handled properly. And it's even more nuanced than just you or I as developers, programmers in a company of any kind where we're programming. It's more than just the programmers. It's more than just the technical leads. If you're in Scrum or Agile, it's more than just the Scrum leaders. It's more than just the project managers. It's more than just the executives. It's everybody. What I think tends to happen is an ineffective communication across the board as to how technical debt affects each point in the company. Because you could make a relatively compelling case that incurring technical debt or not paying it down adequately, like fast enough or the right amount, causes, let's say you're talking to an executive and the executive doesn't know anything about programming. They're just like a CEO, perhaps, kind of like I am of HTMX. And what they care about is more like, what's the bottom line, right? Like, how am I going to financially answer to a board that's looking at, say, like our ability to produce features in order to, and our ability to have like solid features where our customers don't complain, for example, that a feature is not working correctly or that we don't have a lot of bugs, things like that, that affect the bottom line. We should be better in general at being able to explain how the technical debt has a cost to that bottom line, has a cost to the customers, has a cost to the developer's ability to produce good quality code. And the more you create it and the more you leave it, it's not just about interest. It's not just about, well, you get to a point and then that point is static and then you pay the interest off. It's that technical debt actually becomes worse in and of itself, like within a vacuum. And then you just continue to add further points of technical debt, which then is compounding. So it's, instead of, if you were to like chart it, it wouldn't be just a, you know, simple linear graph. It would be like almost exponential, right? And if you can explain the consequences of that to the key stakeholders along the line, I think people in general would be far more willing to jump in and deal with technical debt. And that's why I think this article doesn't really cover the right aspect, and it doesn't have enough nuance. So I just wanted to cover that because it's an interesting thing. Technical debt is something I think we all have had to deal with. I know I have in the past, and it's difficult. And it's a difficult one to communicate and explain. And it's also really, really difficult as a programmer when when you're sitting around in a room and you see the mess and you know you could clean it up, but you can't for some reason. Let me see, Ryan here. I like the Boy Scout rule. Leave it better than when you came. So when I need to dig through some code and there are bad parts, I improve them while I'm there. But some places aren't. There might be a typo there. Some places aren't into, since it leads to code changes unrelated to the current story, issue, whatever in the PR. Right. You have a point here, Ryan. That is, and I would argue that that is a developer-centric like mindset. I agree 100% that every developer should want to walk in to whatever landscape they're looking at, look at even a small amount of debt, whether it's just a one-line change, and try and walk away improving one thing, even if it is a one-liner, because it might seem minuscule in terms of like that one developer doing one line, but it's like that technical debt interest. You do that across the board and enough times, and that starts to pile up in a positive way. And so to some degree, you can counteract technical debt that way. I really like that. But again, I would say that this is on the developer's shoulder, and it's a developer-centric way of dealing with technical debt. And what I'm trying to say at a broader picture with this article is that it should involve more than just the developer, and it shouldn't be. I don't think it actually is about future changes like the article states. I think it's about the present, and everybody needs to be aware of what's going on in the present and how it affects them across the board. And, you know, if I was like, say, a CTO or something, and I was reading your message, Ryan, or one of my employees came up to me and said, you know, like something along the lines of what you're saying, and it was communicated to me, like, if we deal with technical debt and if we have this kind of developer culture, then it affects our bottom line positively. Our customers get more solid features. We produce less bugs. We reduce our technical debt. Like, to me, in an executive view, without having to know what programming is really, that would be compelling to me. So I think just I think the communication is not quite right in the whole scheme of things between the parties involved, key parties involved. And I think that there's a lot of room for improvement there. So yes, thank you for the feedback there, Ryan. That's what I had to say. I'm gonna consider that a wrap. And I'm going to mark it because I want to make a little thing out of this. Call that. Okay, there we go. So I got one thing accomplished in this stream, which is great. Now, the other thing, let me see what I have here. Oh no, not that one. Okay, not that. Never mind. Snow, I have work to do. I've been on Twitch way too long today. I gotta go. Thanks for the stream. I'll tune in every time I can. Snow, thank you. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you to watch me even for a little while. I appreciate it a lot. We'll catch you later. All right. Let me see what else I had on the docket. I didn't have any other articles that I really wanted to cover, which is fine. So what I could do, I could spend a little bit of time doing some Zig code, compiling some stuff. Or there's this one other thing that I wanted to do here. I've been looking at something. Where is my 3D printing? I'm just looking at the other screen. What's it called? Yeah, this. I've been trying to figure something out with my 3D printing. So I've got the Prusa Mark IV, which is really nice. Comes with, you know, the sheet and oh yeah, of course I have my thing on. Anyways, I don't know if this will show. And I've been doing some simple like 3D printed shapes, like squares and hexagons and stuff like that. And I've actually been using this for chord organization, but there's something cool that I've been wanting to try and figure out. I think it's this guy. Yeah. So what I really hate, because I'm a bit of a minimalist, I really hate printing these things out in one shot. And I have to wait like 3 to 4 hours to get this printed out. So I've been trying to figure out, it's this way of like old school, old fashioned woodworking. The history, it's typically attributed to Japanese woodworking, but they have these joints. Let me see if I can find a better. Where'd my mouse go? There it is. Let me see if I can find a better way. Sashimono. Here, like this. Yeah, like this. Japanese joinery is legendary, right? Right? Here, I just want to show like what I'm thinking. It's kind of like these. What's a good example? Oh man, when I search for these things, I can find them no problem. Off stream. When I'm on stream, no. I was a carpenter and electrician before programming. Nice. Nice. So you probably know a lot about this, but you can see here, right? Like this is awesome. And this is what I want to do is I want to 3D print something like something that I could maybe just as a starting point, a simple square like this, but where I can print the joints individually. So I could break each side of this down into 2 or 3 and then maybe like extend it if I want to. And then each print becomes way shorter. So I would have to print more individual pieces, but I think that that's actually better. Because if you print smaller pieces individually, not only do you have to deal with less support structures in your 3D printing, but you can also make, like, you can adjust your sizes and whatnot without having to go to your 3D print software, for example, and taking the model and creating variations of sizes, right? So I have like 3 sizes of this, and then I have to go into my 3D printer and then pick the size that I want, and then it has to tell me how long and etc. etc. I don't want to do any of that crap. I want to be crazy like my Zig WebAssembly video game, and I want to have joints like this guy, which I think is really cool. And you just print the individual pieces, and then you can just like stack, right? And so if you know that you need to build, say, 3 of like these, to build a side, you build 3. If you want it bigger, you build 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, and you just do that all the way around. So that's one of the other things that I was hoping I could try and figure out, and on stream, I don't know if I'm going to do this tonight, but I was thinking that I would try and grab one of these models and maybe on like Tinkercad. Yes, I'm pretty sure I have an account here. Somewhere on Tinkercad here, I think I have something. Yeah, I've kind of like started. So I was thinking I could play around in Tinkercad and try and like mimic some of this joinery. You know, it might be an interesting thing to do on stream, but I don't know if I have the patience to fiddle around with that tonight. Might be a bit of a tough go. But yeah, that I have that in the pipeline, and then what I might do is maybe record some videos, and like of the print and me assembling it, and do kind of like you know those videos where they play through the video really fast and just put them up on YouTube or something, and just see if anybody has fun watching them. I finished this build after the initial timber frame assembly. They pre-make the stuff in a shop and assemble on site. Let's see. That's in Ladner on the Fraser River. I know Ladner. I could drive to Ladner right now if I wanted to. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. I think I see, I mean, maybe it's just me, but I think I see hints of some of the joinery. I recognize this. I totally recognize this. Yeah. Yeah, this looks great. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so beautiful to look at. Oh, man. That's pretty. That's so pretty. Oh, shut up. Come on. That looks great. You know, like there's some kind of weird crossover satisfaction. Like sometimes when you get code just right and it just like fits together like this, and you look at it, you get the same feeling as this. Like just a little bit. Yeah? Like it just feels that way. That's beautiful. Look at that. Yeah. Oh no, is my stream gonna become a carpentry stream? I mean, this is really cool. It looks so nice. Oh, look up here, like that. Yeah. And the way that it comes together here with the two horizontal ones here, and like yeah. Oh, and some nice pictures. I mean, Ladner has some pretty nice spots. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's pretty to look at. I could look at that for quite a while. And then, you know, of course, the usual, you know, we got to chill out, right? Right? Pat ourselves on the back for some good work. Yeah, that's pretty, man. That's really pretty. Oh. Look at that. I love that. I love the way that you use the joints, like where they join together, as a feature, like a look of the door. If that makes sense. I'm not, I don't, I've never done carpentry, but like hopefully what I'm describing makes sense because that's pretty. Yeah, man. This is beautiful work. I'd be proud of this too. And then like typical woodworking station. This I've seen before lots of times. Because I used to do low voltage um wiring in framed, like during the framing stage of houses. So I'd walk in and I'd see this a lot. Yeah. And then beautiful boat. Of course. Yeah, look at this. It's kind of, it might be a little bit hard to tell on screen. Let me see if I can like zoom in a little bit. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, that's you. Yeah, I kind of figured. Yep. Yeah, look at how that came together. Look at those posts. Those just, they just look nice. You used a style that like it's simple, but it looks nice. Look at that. I would be so happy with this. Right. Heated floors. That's probably the heating um that goes underneath the floor. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. That picture's a little bit fuzzy probably because I'm zoomed in so much, but look at that. So pretty. Sometimes when you're looking at code and it's like, the servers are running really nicely, and you've got like 7 third-party API integrations and they're all pumping data in, and the databases are all like humming along, and it's like it just feels like this sometimes. Look at that. That's great. We're gonna spend the rest of the stream looking at carpentry pictures. I mean, come on. Man. Oh, look at how nice that looks at night with the lights like that. That is really cool because you don't just you get a different perspective of the whole house compared to daylight. Like if you look at it like this, it looks nice already. Then you see this at night, there's just something about this that just catches. Oh man, that's really nice. Yep. The deck. Yep. And I like how like the even the piping, like it respects your work. They didn't really go sloppy on any of this. Same with the trims, the fittings and the trims and stuff. It's just like lightly put on, nicely put on. Oh yeah, look at that. This is awesome, Ryan. Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, why on earth did you go to programming? Oh man, come on. I think what I have experienced, like anecdotally experienced with other people who used to be in physical jobs and then moved to technical, like computer based jobs, it's usually because it takes a toll physically. So you know, I can imagine that this kind of stuff was physically taxing, and maybe you needed to get into programming to get out of that. Scratches the same itch creatively. Yeah. So like maybe there's some alignment like here where when you piece together code, on a project and it comes together correctly, it feels like this. A little bit. I think I've got to the end. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. I like how this turned into a carpentry stream, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool with that. So then you know like a lot about what I'm trying to do. Um, like joints like this. If you know about carpentry at all, you've probably seen like the Japanese based joinery, and I kind of want to do that with 3D printing. I kind of want to piece together the same kind of a thing, and like show people that you can do more with your 3D printer. Do piece together things that like look really nice but have, I guess, a form of composability, structuring, I'm not sure exactly what the right word is, but I think you follow what I'm trying to say. This is nice. Yeah. Well, that was cool. Because it's cool. I'm glad you showed me that, Ryan. I appreciate that. Um, I'll, yeah. We don't use the Japanese joinery in Canada, but we watch the vids on YouTube and go, oh yeah, yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty crazy what they do, and I know some of that stuff takes a really long time to get right. But there's like a little bit of a tie-in with technical debt, which is just a little bit. If you put a bunch of time up front to think about how something's going to come together, whether that's your code or wood joinery, so something like your framing, you can sometimes get huge benefits from spending that upfront time. And I feel like there's some overlap, even though it's two almost wildly different worlds, essentially. There's something about it that just seems like you put enough time and effort in having some pride and thinking about what you're putting together, and you can kind of come up with the same kind of results as joinery like this, for example, and reduce your technical debt because you've got some really strong freaking joints, in your code, something like that. Anyways, I'm blabbering and I'm going. It's a little bit of crazy talk, but yeah, that's really cool. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be something I'm gonna try and do in the 3D print world. I'm gonna try and be like a mini Ryan and pretend like I'm a cool 3D carpenter of some kind. Um, yeah, I think what I'm gonna get into, well, the thing I have energy for tonight for a little bit is maybe try and tackle some of this Zig code. Because I'm not gonna have a lot of steam tonight, so I thought I should try and do something that's a little bit creative, throws a little bit of code together for my game, figure a few things out, and then call it a night for me. Um, and then I need to plan out some Laravel PHP HTMX projects because I want to do some more on stream. So I might talk about that off and on, and write some notes down while I'm like free flowing some Zig code right now, and see what I can put together, because there's quite a lot to get through here. And I don't want to be stuck for the rest of the night looking at Ryan's carpentry picks, because that's what's going to happen if I keep going. Is literally what's going to happen. And then I'm going to start saying crazy things like New Brunswick is cool. All because Ryan showed me some cool carpentry pics. Don't do it, Ryan. Don't do it. Okay, DM me later. Or I'm never going to get anything done for this stream. And people are going to come on and say, oh, hey, that Spiro guy's on. Maybe he's doing some cool Zig code. And instead, I'm looking at carpentry pictures. Okay, and I'm going to let everyone down. And then I'm going to get made fun of on Twitter. And no one's going to come to do any interviews on my stream. And I'm not going to have any of the big names. And then I might as well just pack up and go home. Okay, so here we go. Okay, Zig code. All right, so now I'm going to stay focused. Distractomatic 3000. I'm going to stay focused. Here, let me get my... Here, all right. Let's see if we can get some Zig code out the door. Something. Let's just do something. All right, so software game development, click stream, sees carpentry photos, WTF. Exactly. I think that's that's literally happened to probably 2 or 3 viewers that I saw come in and out of the stream while I spent the last 30 minutes looking at carpentry pics. People are like, this isn't what I signed up for. So fine, everyone, okay? Zig code for you. Yeah, see, there you go. Cry havoc. I was confused. Look, I got distracted, Cry, okay? Listen, thank you for coming and just even spending like a second here. I appreciate it. But okay, we're gonna get to some code. And listen, Cry, I don't know if you were here for the article that I read. It was about technical debt. So I've done some development stuff, all right? Okay, maybe you didn't see it, but I swear Ryan will back me up. He probably won't. He'll probably throw me under the bus and say, all we've done the whole stream is look at carpentry pics. Damn it, Ryan! We're fellow Canadians, man. Anyways, it happens. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Cry. Thank you. Can you link the article? Sure. Sure I can. Let me open it up. It's this one. That before carpentry pics, it was Batman lights and 3D pens. It's true, Cry. I have a 3D pen, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show this correctly, but I have this Batman signal so that my family knows when I'm streaming, but it's come detached, and I have a 3D pen, and I was showing it off, and I was going to try and fix it. In any case, here, let me put this link. Okay, so there we go. That's the link to the article. And I'm going to do like a video and post it on my YouTube and Twitch, I guess. And it's going to be just me talking about that article in specific, because I disagree with the article, Cry, in case you're interested. So, yeah. Okay, focus. You keep distracting me, damn it. Let's get some Zig code out. Here's the deal. Thanks. I love reading about tech debt. My absolute favorite article about it was by Riot Games, actually. Freaking distractions. Cry. Link me that article. I've not heard about this article. If you think it's a good one, link it to me. Maybe I will like 100% read it, and maybe I'll even do another video about it. So absolutely link it to me. So in the meantime, I'm going to get into some Zig code just because I want to try and accomplish something in this realm tonight. Awesome. Thank you, Cry. I'm going to open this up, and then I'll leave it open. Okay, so I've got some things to consider. I was thinking about something before stream. And what I was thinking about doing was trying to plug in a really basic HTMX like front end to WebAssembly connection. Yes, it's crazy. And why would I do such a thing? Why did I click on this? Yeah, I can't believe this site's still up. Damn, I didn't mean to do that. Anyways, okay. So, HTMX WASM. Yeah, here we go. So, people have done this, believe it or not. And I was thinking it might be cool to do a, like, have some DOM elements, like, say, this red square get swapped in for another element by making an HTMX call, which calls the WebAssembly code that runs the game. That code ships back data to HTMX, and then HTMX swaps in the right, like the updated element with all the updated data. There might need to be some hyperscript added onto that. So that's what I was thinking about doing before the stream. I kind of had a plan that I was going to try and do that. But then when I looked at my code, I realized I can't really accomplish that, because if I'm trying to keep my code like minimal with basically just array data with integers of very packed sizes, I kind of need to sort out my data a bit more before I can ask HTMX or Hyperscript to basically translate the data coming in and out. But it would be an interesting way to demonstrate that I can take the WebAssembly, the Zig WebAssembly portion of the game, and interchangeably drop in or remove, whatever the case is, the rendering mechanism that I want to have. So it's going to take some work. I might have to do some of this off stream, but what I have right now is a whole bunch of functions that need to be cleaned up. And what I've started to do is, you see here, I've started to create some replacement functions that I think accomplish what I want better. They're much cleaner code. And I'm literally extracting portions of my game into their own data files, if you will. I can't find the right words for it right now. But for example, this test2 just contains a bunch of array data for like a world and some layers and a test image. But if we look at like, let's say player, entity player, let's go to the player data. So I literally just have a simple array for the player data. And this array, you can see I have a legend. So the index 0 is health, index 1 is position X, and index 2 is position Y. And I'm pulling this in as an import in Zig. And then I'm referencing the data by providing a pointer to its memory address. And then on the JavaScript side, let's see if I've got this right. On the JavaScript side, yeah, here I have a getEntity call. And the getEntity call reaches into WebAssembly and says, where in the memory block is the entity that I want, defined by its index. So if it's 0, I would want I can't remember whether it's the player or the artificial entity. And if it's 1, it's whatever the other one is. It's one of the two. And then WebAssembly says, yeah, here's the entity data. It's in this address, and it has a length of whatever the data length is. And so then I can just return a structured object in JavaScript, which represents the internal data. And since I know what the internal data is, I can just wrap it in the object that I want. This is a bit redundant, but it allows the flexibility for me to dictate the kind of data structures I want depending on the rendering front end. without having the WebAssembly Zig code dictate what the data structure should be necessarily. The only thing that I want the Zig WebAssembly code to be doing is manipulating the core aspects of the game and then shipping to me the blocks of memory related with the aspects that I want to render. And then the front end renderer gets to decide how to render, how to access that data, and how to put it together. So I have quite a bit to get through here. This is actually working already, but what I'd like to try to do is get it to a point where I can plug it into the movement here. You can see I'm using my keyboard and I'm moving around, but this movement is tied to the old functions that I don't like anymore. They're too messy. They're down here somewhere. I don't like that. It's gross. So gross. Yeah. So I have to update that. I want to update moving the entity and then rendering the entity using the new functions that are much cleaner. I don't think I have the time to do this tonight, but I also want to update some of the methods for like attacking so that I can get like the health down and demonstrate that like an entity has died because it's run out of health. And I also would like to get maybe an image to render based on image bytes I have here. So literally these are per pixel, right? Isn't it per pixel? Yeah, it's per pixel bytes. So each line represents 1 pixel in an image with RGBA as integers. And then I can ship that out of WebAssembly. So that means that I can like encode images as a part of the WebAssembly build, as part of the game, and then ship out the actual raw bytes, and then allow my front end to choose how to render at least the images. Now, this is all 2D, so I don't have to worry about 3D. In a 3D world, this would be vastly more complicated, but thankfully I don't have to do that. So those are some of the goals that I have over the next few streams, I guess, because I think this is going to be like pretty challenging stuff, and I don't know that I can get through a lot of this in like even a single stream unless I did a really long stream. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. But those are some of the goals that I have, just kind of like short-term goals that I can focus on and I can try and tackle one thing at a time. Now, if I'm going to do anything for this stream, I want to try and see if I can just replace the position. I can just get the movement of my entities plugged into these new functions at the top here, because that's going to be kind of annoying to sort out. This is why I need to clean all this up, because what's happening right now, I have these move functions, and it's these move functions which do the movement, and then I get the entity position and I render that position in the grid. And I have honestly completely forgotten my entire rendering mechanism. Yeah, there we go. So I get the entity position here. And then I literally draw it. Right. Okay, so this is what I do. Right. So on page load, I create DOM elements for my entity. And I think the only two actual entities I have is the ship, which moves around, and that red square is an artificial, it's like an NPC. The blue square is a blocked portion of the map, which means nobody and nothing can like walk over it. It's just blocked. So that's not something I have to worry about. So the red square and the ship are entities which are loaded as DOM elements. Then anytime I need to re-render the scene, I get the position of my available entities, which I know is currently limited to 2, and so I just iterate through both. I pass in the entity ID, the index rather, so 0 or 1. Then I grab the related DOM element and I set its absolute position based on the grid that I've rendered and the size of the world. And right now the size of the world is 4x4. All right. Let me just adjustment to my seat here. Hang on. I'm sorry. Okay. So if I am going to tackle how this works, what I'm going to need to do is update the getEntityPosition function, which is this guy. And so it's so nested. It's so annoying. Okay, so getEntityPosition references getEntityData, which is the old way of doing it. So what I could do is just replace this. What I'm going to do, sit proper. I'm going to move my mic and move my camera so it's easier on everyone. There we go. All right. So if I'm going to replace this function, then I need to replace this function with the get entity, and then it would return XY. So let's say var entity is equal to this get entity, and XY returns that properly. Okay, so that leaves getEntityData free for health stuff, because I still need to do I still want to have my attacks and stuff work on my script here, because my script automatically moves the NPC and then plays out an attack scene, and it's all internal. It's all written out to the console. It's not rendered, but that's fine. That means that should still work. What I need to do is change my move functions. And to change my move functions, I have to do move entity, pass in the direction, which is going to be, I should write the directions. I should write a legend for directions because I do not remember. Directions legend. This is going to be, so 1 is X, 2 is Y. So if it's a 1 minus 1, then that is definitely left. Thank you, Copilot. That is right. This is up and this is down. Thank you, Copilot. Okay. Perfect. So now I won't forget. And then what I'll do is I can literally replace these calls. Here, I'm going to double up. I'm going to double move entity which, and then direction. Yeah, thank you, Copilot, again. That is not right. That is not right. This is going to be 2. And this is going to be 3. And that's going to be 0. And that's going to be... oh, holy crap, I didn't see the notification from Cry that you're following me. Dude, that's awesome. I appreciate it, man. I didn't see that. Yeah, wow, thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. You know, it's crazy because I'm like, I've only recently started, and it's weird to me that like even one person wants to just like sit and watch me talk about whatever for like 5 minutes, let alone give me a follow or a sub. Like what am I? You know, I just wanted to put some interesting stuff out there. So, anyways, I really appreciate it, Cry. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so if I've done this right, what that means is it's gonna actually use the old function and the new function, which for me retains backwards compatibility in case I really screwed it up. But the new entity position function, I mean, this should just work exactly the same. Exactly the same. I should see no difference. So if I run this, I should still see all this move stuff as playing out as part of the script. Oh, what happened? For 3 dumb not found. Really? Really? Fatal error. What have I done? Possible integer overflow in memory allocation? What are you talking about, PHP? Oh. Of course, I did not mount my code. I have to mount it. Gotta mount it. Rawr. Rawr. I hate it when it does this to me. Yeah, Ryan, I know. It's just an easy way for me to spin up a server for no... I mean, I could have done Python. I could have done anything. I'm just... Okay? Just don't New Brunswick this, all right? PHP for the fail. All right. Let's try this again. I swear, if you error out, could have done Elixir. You know, Ryan, you just might convince me. You just might convince me. Okay, here's the thing. It did play out the script, but the movement is not working. And as a result of movement not working, it is not rendering. So I think what I want to do is let's just assume that we're failing right here first. And we're going to do the good old console log, okay? Holy cow, chill. Yeah, that ain't right. That's not right at all. So something's up with this. If I let me look at my Zig code. Am I not? Am I not updating the values correctly? Is this a problem where I've got a pointer reference to a block of memory? I attempt to change the property, but then it doesn't stick. And so in return, I get something else, but it actually should. I actually do think it's working, because if I were to, yeah, that's 65534. That means that it did either a -1 or a +1. And I think I can prove it if I just turn off my script. If I turn off my script, yeah, see? So okay. So I've at least confirmed that moving the entity is altering the data. So it's unlikely that I have an issue with Zig actually doing the update to the position here. What's more likely is that the move function is not working correctly. And maybe what I should try and do is just isolate. Should I? I mean, I guess. Yeah, and let me just make sure that I've got the right indexes. 0 is left. Yes, 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 yes. And that is all correct. That's all good. So now, if I run this again, it won't work. But yeah, move up, move left. These are all undefined. Oops. Whoops. No. Go back. There we go. Undefined means, okay, undefined might be okay because we don't actually have anything returning. Yeah. That's fine. So we don't need move entity to return anything. I don't even think we have a wrapper for it. I think it's literally just calling the WebAssembly code back here, and then it's a void. Yeah, it's a void. So I don't need to worry about a return on any of these. And I am curious if I run this manually. Let's go with what? 1, and then we'll go. Oh, right. I should. Come on. Yeah, so it is. It is doing the right thing. Now, left. X and Y, right? First of all, this is not right. I just noticed this, but that's fine. So what is going on here? Why? If I move this left, which is going to be, yeah, I expect to see X to grow less. Okay, I think I get it. I think I get it. Which I think I know what's going on. Okay, so then if I look at, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, oops, nope. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to turn off my script and yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's not going to do anything, which is fine. Yeah, no, that's not going to work either. It is not rendering, even though it is properly updating the coordinates. So I think this is more of a rendering issue rather than a backend Zig issue. And the reason why is because getEntityPosition is the old freaking function. That's why. It's exactly why. So it's literally because I'm stupid. Which, if you ask anyone in my life, they would agree. So I literally just want getEntity. Yeah, I can. Let's just keep this here just in case we want to like go back. And then I will do this. We'll go. Yeah. Yep. That's what it was. All right. And the other thing that I want to do is I don't want this to go below 0. I'll add that in after. What I think I should do first is make sure that I don't have any other bad references somewhere to like positions the way that I had just now. Let me just check. Init game, yada yada, DOM element stuff, yada yada. Okay. I think we're okay. So I'm going to refresh. Yeah, okay. So I had it work. Yeah. Okay, so it's somewhat working, but not completely working. Before though, like, I mean, that's cool and all that. It's cool and all that. Let me see. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Okay, let me run the script and see what happens. Probably nothing. Probably won't work. Health stays the same, which is totally fine because I think I have the old health. And plus, in order to make an attack, the two entities have to be beside each other, and if movement's not working correctly, then attacking is not going to work. So I got to figure out why the rendering is not working right. I think what I should do is I should start by taking the entity player and moving him to 1. Yeah, 1 1. Then what I got to do is, oops, no, I don't want that. Give me some fish, please. Yeah, that's fine. And then where's my big, there it is. Build it. Okay, so build the Zig file. Okay. So now if I reference, there it is, 1, 1. Perfect. Okay. It's partially working. I'm almost there. I'm not quite there, but I'm almost there. So there's something going on with the rendering 2, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2 is perfect. Yes. And what is the problem? Okay, let's see here. So I initialize the game. I animate the entities. I render the world. That's fine. I size my view, which doesn't fully work, but that's fine. When I initialize my game, I'm setting the world size. And yeah, that's cool. Data equals 1. Is this the problem? It's the problem that I'm not updating my world data. That's my problem. I have essentially shot myself in the foot because I have to go so deep. So deep. Yeah. The world data. So what I have is an array of world data. And in the array, if you find 1, like here, that means it's a blocked grid, like a blocked coordinate. Nobody can walk over that. If you find 2, that means that an entity lives there. So I essentially, I don't want to replace all the world data functions right now because I'm referencing this world data on this line, but I would like to reference the world data in here, but I don't want to update this yet. I'm not ready for that. Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate the follow and everything and the carpentry stuff and all that. I appreciate it all, man. Have a good night. So yeah, if I'm gonna do world data, I'm gonna have to update this. And the simplest way to update it right now, thank you, Ryan. The simplest way to update it right now is to literally go over, iterate world data, set any value of 2 to 0. So it'd be kind of like that. And then iterate current entities, set any value of 0 to 2, where the entity, I guess 1 and 2 match the world data. I guess it'd be like 0. It'd be the world data XY, something along these lines. Let's see what Copilot gives us. Yeah, that would work, I suppose. This is really rough. It's just, I'm just trying to do a quick and dirty way. I'm not even sure if this is going to compile, to be completely honest with you. Zig's going to freak out. Yeah. Because we have an unused capture. Now, there was a way I've done this before where I did not have to worry about that. But for the life of me, nope, I can't remember where it is. So let's just say I took it out. Is that adequate? Or input is not captured. Right. So am I sure? Am I like positive that I haven't done this before? Yeah, no. This is one of the things about Zig that is good and bad. It's good because it has a lot of guardrails, which is good, but it's also bad in a way because it means those guardrails sometimes they get like in your way essentially, and you have to go and like track down how to tackle these things. So I'm just gonna do a quick search here. Zig, put an unused capture in a for loop. I don't need the unused item. Let's see if there's any results. Okay. So so literally if I just go to Zig's documentation and then I go, what would it be? Arrays? Yeah. And I try and look at like a for loop of an array. It should just be that. For, yeah. For. Okay, so maybe I can simplify this then. Just take that out. Take this out like this. I think maybe that's what I was missing before. And if that's true, then I'm pretty stupid. Pointer capture of non-pointer type. Let's just see. Now reference non-pointer type. I'm not doing this right, am I? Absolutely not. I'm absolutely not doing this correctly. There's but I know there is. I think maybe there's like there's a way to ignore. Right? I'm pretty sure. Discard of unbounded counter. This is weird. I've put myself in a weird position and now I have to figure my way out. So I wonder. Let's say, can I just reference like this? Okay, well, it didn't freak out about that one, so didn't freak out about world data. So maybe I've got the right idea. Yeah, I don't think I need that. I don't know why that's... Right? So it would be something like this. Oops. Oh. Ah. Yeah. Pointer capture of non-pointer type. Maybe let's just get rid of the pointer, since I'm not entirely sure we actually need that. I32 does not support indexing of square. Let me see what's going on. Do a quick search, let's see. Yeah, I'm not so sure about this. Yeah. I mean, I could cast it. In here. See, that's... So if I can yeah, okay. That is closer to what I want. Yeah. Typo here. Yep, perfect. So I can cast that as well. So we'll go side. Says yes. And then same with this guy. We'll cast it. This is probably really hacky, but just to get it out the door. Expected integer or vector found 3u16. Really? How on earth do you figure that? Let me just see if I can just simplify the code. Huh, that did work. I think. I'm pretty sure that worked. So, and then world data index would be as a usize as well. Whoops. Okay, so that compiled. Now, there we go. Okay, well, I accomplished the goal. I updated the position, and I have to update the position code in Zig so that it's blocked. Like I can do the blocking. I can make sure I'm not going over the blue square. I can make sure I'm not going over the red square. I can make sure I'm not exceeding the bounds of the world. So now I can start to implement that. But I now have a way to render and using the new functionality, which is much better. And I can also update the world data now. So that's great. That's kind of what I wanted to accomplish, and I think I have accomplished said thing. Okay. Well, that's pretty freaking cool. I guess I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate everybody who watched, and I'm going to post a video about the technical debt thing. You know, it's not like the most interesting thing, but it's just something to talk about. Something that maybe somebody will benefit from, even if it's just one person. I'm cool with that. And then I'll keep working on this on another stream, hopefully very soon. But I've got some work to do before I call it a night, so I better get to that. And again, I appreciate everybody. You know, I didn't have very many viewers on my stream today, but I appreciate every single one of you. That was cool. It was cool to do that. And hopefully on one of my streams in the near future, I'm going to have some cool people to interview and ask some questions about. Maybe we'll all learn something. It'll be good. Okay, thanks everyone. I'm calling it a night. Have a good night or a good day or whatever to everyone else. Peace out.